So, you've just been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Chances are your world is looking pretty unfamiliar right now. You might feel angry, stressed. You might not want to believe what you've heard. Not me, you say. There must be a mistake. Those feelings are natural. One thing's for certain. You're going to have some concerns about what type 2 diabetes will mean to your life. Hello, I'm Bill Paul. And like you, my life has been touched by this disease. My father had type 2 diabetes. While we understood what it was, having more practical information about his condition would have helped to reduce some of the uncertainty we all felt at the time. In the next 10 minutes, we're going to try and answer some of the questions you may have about your diagnosis, and hopefully help you put aside some of the concerns you may have about your condition. So, come with me as we take the first steps towards understanding type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes, what is it really about? In 2 words, insulin and glucose. Your body runs on energy, which comes from blood sugar, or glucose. Most of the food we eat is digested into glucose. When your body is working normally, insulin helps glucose get into your cells, particularly those in the muscle and fat, to give your body the fuel it needs. Now, meet the pancreas. It's a fish-shaped gland that stretches across your abdomen wall. The role of the pancreas is to produce insulin. Diabetes plays havoc with that job description. As someone with type 2 diabetes, your pancreas is either not producing enough insulin, or it's producing plenty of insulin, but your body's cells just can't use it properly. This is called insulin resistance. Here are a couple of fast facts. 90% of people with diabetes have type 2. 92% of those people are insulin resistant. Pills and/or insulin injections may be necessary to manage this condition. Insulin resistance is now recognized as one of the key underlying problems in type 2 diabetes. It's also associated with other conditions like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and obesity. If one body system is not working properly, other body systems can be affected. That's why it's important to be aware of and control underlying conditions as well as your diabetes. There's another type of diabetes, the one you don't have, called type 1. If you had type 1 diabetes, and 10% of diabetics do, your body wouldn't be able to produce any insulin at all, so you'd need to get insulin through injections. Now, here's a question you're probably asking yourself right about now. If it's any comfort, you're not alone. Over 1.5 million Canadians have type 2 diabetes. Nearly 750,000 more individuals have it, but don't know it yet. Did you know that every 4 to 8 minutes, someone is diagnosed with diabetes in Canada? That's 180 to 360 people a day. Those are serious numbers, but then again, diabetes is a serious disease. In fact, left unchecked, it's a leading cause of death by disease in Canada. The good news is that you can live a long and healthy life by taking good care of yourself. Still, people wonder, was there something I could have done to prevent diabetes from happening to me? No one knows exactly what causes diabetes. We do, however, know who is most at risk. Here's a question for you. How many people diagnosed with diabetes do you think are overweight? The answer may surprise you. 80%. Being more than 30% overweight does increase the chances of getting diabetes. So does a lack of exercise. We know that type 2 diabetes runs in families. Age can also be a factor. It occurs most often after 40, but the number of people under 40 who are developing it is growing. People who smoke or have high blood pressure are at greater risk for diabetes. And so are those who have high cholesterol or women who've given birth to a large baby. Type 2 diabetes can be a tricky little disease. It may develop slowly over a period of time. You might have only mild symptoms, or maybe no symptoms at all. What you see here are a few of the most common signs, one or more of which may have led you to your doctor in the first place. Hard to believe, but some people have this disease for years and never even know it. When you have diabetes, it can make it harder for your body to do some of its other work properly. That's because excess glucose in your blood can damage your body cells and cause complications. What kind of damage? Over time, excess sugar in your blood can affect the small blood vessels in organs like your eyes and kidneys. It can also harm the large blood vessels in your heart, making you more vulnerable to heart disease. The combination of damage to small and large blood vessels and nerves increases your chance of injury and infection in the feet, something that can lead to the need for amputation. But don't panic. It's hard to say who will develop complications and who will not. What we do know is that keeping your blood sugar levels as close to normal as possible is the best way to prevent or delay some of these complications. Let's talk about how you go about doing that. Face it, type 2 diabetes is going to change the way you live. You're going to have to exercise more, watch what you eat, and get rid of bad habits like smoking. But those are all things that have probably been making your New Year's resolution list for years. The only difference now is you have to keep those promises. Diabetes is not curable, at least not yet. But it can be managed by keeping your blood sugar levels from getting too high or too low. That's something you'll need to check on a regular basis. Like a signpost for determining which way to go next, the results of your monitoring will guide you and your doctor in gaining control over your diabetes. Now, we all get stressed. It's part of life. But did you know that for people with type 2 diabetes, prolonged stress can actually block the body from releasing insulin? Take a look at how you cope with stressful situations. If you find yourself becoming really overwhelmed by your situation, talk with your doctor. He or she may be able to introduce you to new ways of coping with stress in your life. So, here you are. You know more about type 2 diabetes, the potential complications, and the things you can do to help prevent serious problems. But diabetes is a complex disease, and there's a lot for you to cope with. Where do you go from here? Start with a look at your health care team. That's right, diabetes care is a team effort involving you, your family doctor, pharmacist, nurse, dietitian, and specialists. The job of this team of experts is to teach you about type 2 diabetes and your treatment options. Managing your diabetes starts by managing the foods that you eat, the amount you eat, and when you eat. I know that diet certainly helped my father manage his type 2 diabetes. Balanced meals at regular intervals are a good start. Choose foods from all the food groups, including dairy, meats, grains, fruits, and vegetables. And don't forget to check your food portions. A registered dietitian can provide you with great tools and tips for planning meals and adapting your diet to your needs. Next, take a look at your activity level. Exercise is something we should all do. After all, who couldn't afford to be a little fitter, a little trimmer? Health Canada recommends 3 to 6 10-minute sessions of physical activity daily. That doesn't mean you have to get out there and run the 3-minute mile. Instead, start slowly and build up. Exercise can actually lower your blood sugar level and help your body be more efficient in the way it uses sugar for energy. The right exercise program can also help you lose weight, maintain a healthy diet, improve your circulation, and up your energy level. Just remember, talk to your doctor before you start any exercise program. If you're unable to manage your blood sugar levels with diet and exercise, your doctor may prescribe a medication for you to take every day. Pills to control blood sugar are usually taken once or more a day. There are a number of different ones on the market, and they all work in different ways. Some decrease blood sugar production by the liver. Others help the pancreas to produce more insulin. Some help the body to use its own insulin more effectively by moving glucose from the bloodstream into the cells and lowering glucose production by the liver. You may start by taking one type of pill and adding another type, or even changing pills later on. An insulin injection may be added to your daily regimen of diet, exercise, and pills, or it may be given by itself. In either case, taking insulin does not mean that you have type 1 diabetes. It It just means that you need injections to manage your particular situation. Diabetes. It's a serious, lifelong medical condition that requires knowledge, support, motivation, and some definite changes to your lifestyle. But it isn't about living in a vacuum. The support of family, friends, and your healthcare team is very important. Combining their help with your knowledge, you'll take the first steps towards managing this disease and opening the door to a healthier, brighter, and more hopeful future.